At the moment, it's just myself and AJ. TJ's just on a call at the moment, so we will sort of pad the airwaves. I've got a gripe against the community anyway, and AJ and the team, so we can start off with that. I think is probably the best. And that is that no one wished me happy birthday yesterday. So,
whoa! I wish you a happy birthday.
We don't say that now. Like they don't know you did that. There's no proof of that.
There's no proof.
No one said happy birthday. No one gave me shit for being old. So
actually, proof does exist. I'm fairly certain our recording software picked that up in our all hands meeting. So I can go on.
All right, AJ. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe look like a dick now. But no one in the community picked up on it, and they're always having a dig about my age. So I just figured, that would be a good place to start. So yeah, perfect. And look at that.
Hey,
look at that timing. Hey, TJ.
You still drinking that OJ?
No, I've got another one. I've got another one. Yeah.
Jeez. Got my juice in Tropicana.
No, it's not. It's you drop a tablet in and it dissolves, and it's for old people. So this is a delayed AMA, and we have a lot to discuss. So I think, AJ, are you keeping an eye on Discord, or should I do that? Perfect. So there's a couple of topics I want to address to yourself, AJ and TJ. So we'll go through a bit of a format, and then we'll open the floor. Starting with you, AJ, you're always really quiet on these calls. You never have anything to say, and you always hide behind the guise of, well, I'm not allowed to disclose this specific information, as if TJ has that many books. Are they real? They're not real. They're not real.
I was adjusting my blinds.
Sophisticated virtual background you have there.
The Art of War by Sun Tzu, I can see, right smack bang in the middle. I'm a huge fan. Wow. Okay. Right. I've been a bit blown.
Need to be well read.
People are going to be screenshotting that and going through that for ages now. So back to AJ. AJ, you dodge bullets left, right, and center, and you hide behind your legal framework. So I'm going to push you on this AMA for two things. Partnerships, which I think we can go a bit into, and grants. So we'll start with partnerships. Have you got any updates or anything that you want to share with the community? Put you on the spot.
I feel like you're asking me to divulge things. Sure. We recently went into an agreement with Developer DAO, which is a community DAO system with roughly 8,000 to 9,000 different developers. And we will be hosting workshops with that community, doing Twitter spaces. We'll be writing some articles, answering questions. So I think that's an amazing partnership for us. Shout out to Developer DAO for, allowing us into their very tight ecosystem and wanting to learn more about the reactor. Gives us the opportunity to really focus in on the customers and the users that we want to start using and experiencing the reactor. So I think that's an amazing opportunity for us on the partnership front. And with grants, you all know by now that we received $100,000 grants from Amazon Web Services, which is awesome. That took a lot longer than we anticipated securing, but we have it. It's great. Supports us in our technology stack infrastructure and being able to facilitate lightning speed swaps, the ability to kind of host different elements of the reactor. So that's an amazing opportunity for us. It is great because now we can kind of utilize other resources and capital to other very important areas of the business. So that's great for us. It kind of advances us in a number of different areas.
Just don't give away any more specific names.
I'm not.
As if you fell for that. You're getting soft.
I wasn't going to say the next name only because we haven't received the contract yet. So not going to do that. But we did receive another grant from an L1. to basically integrate their entire network into the reactor, which is an amazing accomplishment. I'm very proud of that. I think it's just one way that we can continue to provide value to developers in every ecosystem. I think once people realize how easy it is to build and deploy things with the reactor, regardless of which network or blockchain they're used to developing in, I think people will be really blown away.
And it's probably worth saying that, AJ, that there are, scores of grant applications that you've done, but these things obviously take a lot of time, and obviously with the current climate, people are being about as sort of frigid as they can be with due diligence and things like that, right?
Yeah. Also, it's just been a very hot couple of weeks for different events. So there's Ethereum Dubai, Crypto Dubai happening this week. There was ETH Denver that was going on. Prior to all those events, we were deep in conversations with 2 other L1s, evaluating the reactor to see if we can, be eligible for an ecosystem grant. So progress is being made on a number of different fronts. And that's all I'm going to say on my work, because one of the things that I do are customer facing. I would let TJ and George convey those things when they're material. My work is in the background where I belong.
Yeah, and I'm just not going to say anything else because AJ already said way too much.
AJ's in lots of trouble now. Good, thank you for that, AJ. I'm glad you took some heat off of me for a change. I appreciate that. I think you have dodged a lot so far. So from a product update, there's been a lot of movement across the both sort of silos, the reactor and the DeFi ecosystem. So, TJ, do you want to give us a bit of a sort of an overall summary of the closed beta testing and where we're at with the reactor and if Henry's still alive?
Yeah, absolutely. Henry is still alive. He is hammering away at his keyboard as we speak, working on APIs and multiple different deliveries, even some special ones we're going to be pushing that we haven't announced. So that's exciting. As far as testing is concerned, there are a lot of people testing the reactor right now, and they're excited about it. We've gotten some great feedback that we're actually incorporating into our dev pipeline moving forwards. So that's exciting. And then of course, since AJ already mentioned it, we're preparing for these partnerships coming up ahead and a possible large influx of users.
Amazing. And from the DeFi ecosystem, I will cover that. I've been dealing predominantly with that. Obviously, you've seen swaps, a constantly evolving process with swaps, and we've had a lot of community feedback, especially using the focus groups, the killer whales and the whales, to try it out. And they captured a good half a dozen extra tweaks that we were able to initiate before releasing it. So that whole process is working well, and we hope that's enough of an incentive for people to join those groups. So that's good. Well, at the moment we're working on console 2.0. There will be a slight tweak, obviously, to the roadmap. You appreciate that swaps has come out early, so there's a slight rejuggle, but there's no loss of time. It's just a slightly strategic development has been swapped by TJ for the greater good there. So a console's been worked on at the moment. So that's our next big one. That's pretty much where we stopped with the previous company. So that's all good. We will continue to develop swaps. So keep the suggestions coming in. They will be logged for swaps 2.5 and swaps 3.0 already. So lots of progress there. TJ, there's one thing that we don't really talk about on any of these before we get to the questions, and that's the DApp store, the marketplace, this concept. Do you want to maybe go over that, because that's going to be a huge part of what we do going forward?
Yeah, we're providing the foundation to build Web3 more efficiently, faster, and more securely. So why not build a platform where people can also deploy their apps and access them all from one place? The dApp store is going to be a big part of what we're doing in the future, and the products that we have now, besides the reactor, will all be featured as leading products within that dApp store. Our idea is to capture the whole developer market in Web3 but then also to build up the entire infrastructure market by providing a safe place where people can access.
So I guess it's that sort of what we've become accustomed to with the Play Store and the App Store, and that ability just to go and click, download, and have that sort of ease of use and safety. We are bringing that to the Web3 space, which it's not really there at the moment.
That's essentially the idea, yeah.
Amazing, cool. So that'll be something to look out for. TJ, do you want to? I'm just going to send you a message. Because I'm a bit scared of how you're going to go at AJ, and I don't want to drop any alpha that I shouldn't do in Slack.
We can mention it.
Okay. Do you want to mention that about what's going on, the reason for it? Yep.
Yeah. We're working on a new a website upgrade. It's going to help our branding. It's going to help people understand what we do a little bit more. Right now, people just see a bunch of products kind of thrown together, and they usually like the reactor enough and the products to stick around. But if we have a website that clearly explains our mission statement and where we are and where we're going, it's going to help drive adoption significantly.
Yeah,
like
amazing.
One of the narratives I'm trying to focus on lately is having people realize, just who Henry is and what he's built before. I mean, you look at Node Package Manager, almost 50% of the developers on Earth use it today. I mean, it's well over 12 million developers, and we're not talking about it that much.
No, agreed. And it's part of that funneling that process, like you said, it's so we can so people, when the moment they click on the site, they know exactly what we do, just by skimming through that first page, which it's a bit of a jumble at the moment. So still working on that. From a marketing update, I've been working with the associates and doing a lot of the marketing and stuff. So you'll notice that with regards to a lot of the tweets are coming out, the volume of them is increased significantly, and that's because of the work that's going on in the background. Especially some of the associates have been working frantically, and some of the impressions and stuff, and our footprint is growing. They have just actually now, which is why I keep looking at my phone, they've just secured an AMA with someone, TJ. It's so fresh that I haven't included you on it yet. But I'll let you know in a minute. But it's a big community as well, and they're going to Paris. So we'll be
getting paid some mark.
Yes, yeah, it's a good one. So that's really exciting. But they're going out there feeling, and we're going to continue to sort of probably grow that part of the business as we size up to allow us to sort of capture more community. We need more AMAs. Bring
Absolutely.
back the days. And then Paris Blockchain Week. So the drum roll, the time where we're all together in one space, the danger. But Paris Blockchain Week, joking aside, it's going to be absolutely huge. AJ, the messages back and forth that you keep sending me and the emails I'm getting about all the meetings we're going to.
Real quick, are we going to mention that thing that we found out about yesterday?
We
can hint around it.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's so many emails.
I know what you're talking about.
Don't get specific, but we can hint around it. All right, let's. An exercise in subtlety.
You do the dancing.
Go on, TJ.
I'm not going to say something too direct, but some of you guys disagreed with the picks for the top 10 in Starting Block. And let's just say there was another list that was conducted, and ARC did pretty well on that list.
I want to know more about this. Keeping this for me now. Okay, that's amazing. Well, who made the list?
It was a very prominent player in the space.
Okay.
That
amazing.
They're very, very well connected.
Well, and actually, the other thing I need to mention, I don't know whether you saw, I don't know what the project, ZK Tsunami, released their smart contracts on Twitter. One of their community members sent a link to it, and I took one. I think I took their ERC20 token. I put it through the reactor, put a screenshot on, and I got more likes on my post than they did on their original post from the community. But apparently, someone from another community piped up and said they've stolen their smart contracts from us. We can see from that. Yeah, someone messaged me, and I was like, well, that wasn't the intention. But yeah, I was like, stolen, copied and pasted.
To say happy to help.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that was quite interesting to see that. But the way that the reactor just laid it out was so simple and clear. It was it was
get an AMA with those guys.
Yeah.
Maybe they added an exploit to the original code that they took.
Oh, no idea.
Allegedly took.
So yeah, so Paris Blockchain Week. AJ, talk. Just you don't have to specify, but maybe just give an overarching sort of view of how busy it's going to be. And I think people think it's probably going to be a bit of a jolly, but the amount of emails of meetings and after events and speaking and forums that we're going to. Do you want to give like just a rundown?
So ARC, the event runs from Tuesday until Thursday. But ARC has been invited to attend Investors Day, which is on Monday. So that's for a limited amount of people. So we are invited to Investors Day. Anyone who is attending Blockchain Week, who's an investor, a VC, an LP, equity, or what is it called? Equity shop. Those folks will be there. We have access to everybody who's attending. I've already begun to set meetings up during the times of the event. They make it very simple and easy. All 5 of us have profiles within the Blockchain Week network. So it's very easy to access our virtual booth. They can dive into our profiles. They can set meetings with us. I've already set meetings with a few folks, setting meetings with other projects, investors. So far we haven't even attended. We're gonna be very busy. The booth will be operational for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We actually have combined 2 booths, which is very cool. It gives us a lot of branding opportunity. We have 2 TV screens. We'll be running demos on both screens, so people can come by, run their projects through the reactor, and show them how clean and efficient it is. And there's going to be a lot of amazing speakers there. So hoping that we can brush the shoulders with some titans in the space. And then, of course, we've been invited to events every evening, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. So we're going to be pretty busy. It's going to be a lot of work, a lot of talking. We're going to sleep very well at night.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Amazing, thank you. So should we go on to some questions because this was a delayed AMA, we had a lot of questions, and I know Yoda-san had written an essay. Just got to try to find it. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to skim through these. Blockchain Week, we've heard about the team having a booth. You seem to be investing a lot of time. We've covered that. Feedback on the pitch deck, AJ. Whilst I read through the thing, have you had any feedback on the pitch deck?
Yeah, the pitch deck is actually getting the message across. Obviously, it's always under development. We take the learnings from every pitch that we give, the feedback, and then we incorporate those changes into the deck. So what you may have access to if you're a whale or a killer whale on DocSend is not necessarily the most up-to-date one. So it's a living document. It changes quite frequently. Narrative changes. Some ideas pop in. We take some things out. We had a very constructive meeting today with ARC's full house of advisors to really hone in and basically hit home runs. So we're still racking up meetings. It's going very well. I think we've tracked a lot of success so far. And yeah, the mission's not over yet. And then even when that checkbox is checked, we still have more to do. Never not working.
Amazing. Specifically, he asked about us keeping them updated on when we're in Paris, all of us, and I will do that. I'll be there sneaking in the background with my camera on my Twitter, so don't worry. I'll make sure
everyone wants us to hold hands in front of the Eiffel Tower. Was that your son? Or no, that's Crypto Walk.
Oh yeah, he had some nasty things in here about me, so I'm not going to mention him. So people have been talking about Arbitrum and all the different swap chains that we now offer as part of the service. There's a few messages I saw before, TJ, about people saying, "Why don't you just wrap your token and shove it on another chain?" Thoughts on that?
That sounds very unplanned. Just wrapping it and shoving it on another chain.
Listen, I'm just passing the message on. I'm not suggesting we do it. I'm just passing the message on.
I mean, I've definitely considered it before. It's just there's so many good ideas. If I decide to pursue all of them, we're not going to execute on any of them. So right
Agreed.
now, just trying to stay focused on delivering the product to be the best that it can be, and to start that snowball effect and build momentum from there. And maybe that will be a part of our strategy in the future, maybe not. But Arc is designed to be cross-chain. It's supposed to be seamless across all blockchains. So I'll just say that.
Perfect. Yeah. And just to elaborate on that, it's so easy. We're even developing the swaps just to keep adding on bits here, adding bits here, product creep. So it is really important that we just deliver and do things well and then move on sequentially. So yeah, perfect. Okay, thanks, TJ. There's a lot of funding questions. The last question the Yoda-san had about the plans outside the community AMAs. Yeah, exactly that. I'm talking to someone at the moment, and we will try and get that ZK tsunami in as well. And we will try and grow our community a little bit for some fresh faces.
Yeah, let's meet with them and the other group.
Yeah, and then we'll pit against each other. Perfect.
We'll say, let's see if you really did copy the code and then do it live.
Yeah. Questions. Titus, what is Lychee AI being trained on and who is involved? I mean, that's a very vague question.
Well, I can hit that one, George.
You go for it.
Yeah, it's being trained on on-chain data as well as GitHub repositories. And then as far as who was involved, I am chiefly involved as of right now. And pretty soon here, Henry will be more involved and potentially more resources as well. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so and to reiterate that the Lychee system is slightly different to the way that it collects data compared to GPT-4 and ChatGPT, right?
Yeah, it serializes the data. It's a lot more lightweight and functional.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's basically a tool that we've picked to do a specific job to the React, as opposed to just a really broad brush sort of scanning sort of AI. What do you think of the narrative that GPT will replace everything? Everything, pilots, supermarket work. I don't know what that means, but I mean, let's talk about the AI narrative, TJ. You've spoken about the AI narrative for probably over a year now, 18 months, I think, probably was the first time you mentioned it. Where do you see it going sort of in the future?
I see it boosting people's workflows across every industry, but I don't see GPT itself really replacing a lot of people. It can't think critically. It can't form new logic based off of patterns that it's recognized. It just it guesses the new word, and since it has such a massive neural network, it's able to do that. But you ask it to, like, let's say you hook up GPT into a robot, you ask it to throw a baseball, like it won't even know how to pick up the ball. There's decision diffusers, there's all types of variables in play, and GPT doesn't serialize the data like some other solutions out there do. It doesn't diffuse decisions like some other solutions out there do, and it's not isomorphic. And Lychee is all three of those things.
There we go. Hope that answered your question, Titus. How will Arc stay ahead of other AI for smart contracts in the future? Constant research, news, development, dealing with Henry, who knows these sorts of parameters. much the same as anyone else will.
As more people build with Arc and contribute to our database of code, our database becomes more valuable. Arc becomes more valuable. So it'd really be like a snowball effect once people start building with it.
Perfect.
AI will just get smarter.
Yeah. So who's responsible for the AI development part? You've already answered that question. There's only so much a community to do to hype it. How will Arc try to tap into other communities? Well, I'm going to answer that question. Thank you. Gatsu, yes, to a degree, you're correct. However, let's be honest. I think the community are very are exhausted. It's been a lot. It's been a long time, right? The community's been through a lot. They're probably quite browbeaten. Could they do more? Of course, yeah, of course. I've been trying to rally everyone in Telegram and Discord recently without literally shaking them and saying, tweet, retweet, comment about us, speak in other groups. But all I'll say is look at the traction that the two associates are working on at the moment. Specifically Joan of Arc and Ali. Look at the traction they're getting on Twitter. Look at the impressions. Now, I'm not expecting everyone to do that. I'm not expecting, it's not anyone else's job. It's our responsibility. But all I'll say is if you do make that effort, it makes a massive difference because suddenly all the algorithms go up, our social ranking scores go up across Twitter, across Luna Crush, across CoinGecko. So yeah, all I would say is I don't think the community are anywhere near running at 50%. But to answer the second part of your question, yes, we are looking at speaking to other communities, mainly because we have such an amazing tool, and with the D App Store, we can tackle things both ways and try and get them as a customer as well as a co-marketing experience. So yeah, that's something that we're going to be pushing hard now for as well.
And to call out, the community members that really are contributing, like Joan of Arc, for example. It's all about that question. It's not what can Arc do for me and what can I do for Arc. And you see their involvement on social media every single day, and they're really bringing a lot of eyes over. And if we multiplied that, it'd be huge.
Yeah, it would be huge. Like that I offered to burn 200,000 Arc, like $2,000 worth of Arc. You think that everyone would have been on that like a tramp on chips. So for the Americans, it's like a hobo on chips. But it wasn't. The response I got back was, and that tells you we're in the bear ass of a bear market, because the response I got back was, we'll never get that. That's unrealistic. It's like, well, there were 100 people online in the trading group. So kind of like you can tell that everyone's had the life sucked out of them. So we need that to come back. That will really help. But yeah, like you said, TJ, the more people do, the more they essentially are helping their own investment, really. But anyway, we have plans and we will be implementing them across the board. And we're really excited about that as well. Stacking has been really good. When he tweets, you can feel the passion, mainly because he's probably been drinking. And I'll tell you what, Gratz has been really good in Discord as well, hyping up everyone in Discord. But you can tell all the different people. There's loads of people, actually, I probably should mention. But it's always the same faces, but it makes a huge difference. So yeah, I'll let rant over. Let me go back through some questions. TJ, there are plans for cross-chain swaps in the future? If you can answer that just whilst I go through some more questions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
thanks.
Well,
give me much time.
Past that, there's plans for people to build thousands of cross-chain decentralized applications with our tool. So we're really scaling out that side of things with the App Store.
Okay, thank you. From We Are the Champions, now that we're near the end of beta testing, how does Interestingly react on a paid basis compared to the team's expectations and hopes before the testing? So, are we in a different place mentally from the SaaS model basically now than we were before?
I could hit this one, AJ, if you want. We think we can make more money now, albeit with a slight model change. So we'll be releasing some more details about that soon. But essentially the idea is to reduce the barriers in the space, making the process seamless. And I mean, we're feeling pretty excited about it. I mean, we just got in the past few days, 5 or I shouldn't say it. Should I say it, AJ?
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're going to say. I know this time. I'm in the loop. Yay! Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's 5 enterprise license deals in the pipeline, new ones, I should say, just as of 2 days ago. So that's exciting.
Nice. That is exciting. That's the second grant. I'm way more excited about because of the knock-on effects from that. So nice.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm just sending that our new information. I'm going to send that our pitch deck and some new information to that new community who are very interested. Sarcasm. When marketing question. Does ARC have plans beyond community engagement to get the message out? There's been so much going on in the last 2, 3, 6 months with the reactor about to hit open beta swaps, blah, blah. Yeah. So sarcasm. I'll answer this one. Essentially, am I personally surprised that we are where we are with sentiment, token price, all that sort of stuff? Yes, I am actually. I thought there would be a lot more hype, and I thought there would be a lot more sort of traction from the releases. Again, it tells me that people are, where we are with regards to
bear market.
the macroeconomic sentiment. Yeah, people are just fucking ruined at the moment. So yes, I am slightly surprised at that. However, look at the traction that influencers get. They don't get any traction really. A few impressions and stuff, but it doesn't do anything. So, would it be very sensible for us to be paying for, videos on YouTube, influence on Twitter, whatever? You would literally be setting fire to the money at the moment. Will that come down the line? Yeah, of course it will. Of course it will, because there's a time and a place to push that hype button. But now it's just about building and growing that staunch community. People who are left here are the veterans of these are the people that truly believe in what crypto, what Web3, what Bitcoin, what all of that is doing for the space. The fickle people, they've gone. They'll be back, and they'll be back to buy in higher for all the different tokens.
But yeah, and what we're focused on right now is building the real base. I mean, every time you spend money on marketing or influencers, whether you're in a bull or a bear market, it's transient. I mean, people, they pump, the token dumps right after the event. It's just in a bull market, it goes a little bit higher. But if you build an actual community and people that love the product and they evangelize about it and they spread it to their friends, like that's real marketing, because that creates a multiplier effect.
100%. It's the best way. It's not a cop out. I know it sounds like a cop out, but it's the best way. And it's what we did with the previous company. So does ARC have any plans, ideas, achievements to be broader audience beyond asking the community to engage on Twitter? Yeah, I mean, it's a very detailed question, but it's answering one thing, and I hope I've answered that for you. I can see you're typing, so I'll get back down to that in a sec. Right? What's the biggest challenge you faced building the ARC reactor, and how have you overcome it, TJ? From Poggy.
The biggest challenge thus far is, it's a tough one, really.
Because the development of it's been relatively smooth, touch wood.
Well, yeah, because we have Henry. We have Henry on board. I'd say the biggest challenge thus far is having people realize they need it. Because like there's 2 different situations we find ourselves in. Like the first situation, people absolutely love it. They think it's amazing. They think it's going to change everything. But they already have like some of their stuff planned out for the next couple months. So we start working together, but stuff doesn't really hit until a couple months down the road, right? And then the second situation, it's a dev that's so used to using the tools that exist now that are archaic. You type line by line. It's just all line by line code, no diagrams, no, autocomplete like the reactor. and they're getting paid by the hour. So why are they going to use the reactor when they could get the job done like 100 times faster and make a lot less money? So right now it's just about getting the initial users and communities together to use the product, to create a competitive landscape to where everyone else realizes they won't be able to compete with the people using it, is our biggest challenge right now. And we're overcoming it by the partnerships we're making, by these enterprise license deals, by these grants, and I mean, who we've been working with lately. That's how we're doing it actively.
I might also add to that as well as, we touch on this when we speak to investors as well. When you think about the evolution of technology and how we know it today, you're either looking at your computer screen right now or on your phone. And those things weren't possible without some radical changes to the status quo. So think about where computing was back when IBM came out with the first personal computer. There was no mouse. It was a keyboard stationed onto a screen, and you basically read and built software line by line. And then there was the introduction of the graphic user interface by Apple, and that made personal computing and interacting with software very simple and accessible. And then we saw personal computers really take off because it became this interface where people could interact with what people created on a software basis. And we all remember, we all thought that these were the shit. Blackberries, QWERTY keyboards, you could type, drive in, you didn't have to look. People became very familiar. Internet was hardly accessible. And then Apple came out with a touchscreen and mobile apps that we could integrate with and also have communication with our computers. And then we saw mass adoption of touchscreen phones, and it made communicating 10 times easier, and it made accessing the internet very simple. And you could do so many more things. You could store your music on there. We kind of see the reactor in a very similar position, right? There has been a long history of tradition in how people are used to developing, coding, software engineering, and what ARC has done has really kind of evolved what that process looks like. And that is probably a challenge as well, because it's so brand new and it's hard to understand. Doesn't mean it's ineffective. It just means there's a learning curve. I think, there's a famous line from when Steve Jobs went to go see Sony. And I think he wanted to get Sony to invest when they were developing the iPhone. We can get some echo. And the guy was using it, one of the executives, and he said, I can't type on this because I hit too many keys. And Steve Jobs famously said, your thumbs will learn, right? And now today, we can not even look at our phones and type in because it's just, we're so used to it. And the reactor provides a streamlined method to do so many different things that people are accustomed to doing very bifurcated and segmented, or using multiple different pieces of technology.
Yeah, it's like right now people just have the keyboard hard connected to the PC. That's how they code blockchain, but we're creating the GUI for it.
A brand new interface to streamline development with the aggregation of different tools that exist today in a single location that makes it faster, scalable, and cheaper. When people understand that, that's going to be a train that's going to be really hard to catch.
Agreed. And I guess the fact that the reactor is not finished and it's still being developed, you're trying to sell something to them that is still not a finished package. So I guess, from that element, it's also that there is an element of it being a little bit tricky there, because you're saying, well, when they say, well, X, Y, and Z, for example, editable source code, it's something that's coming. So I guess, for testers, that's always something that is a bit of a challenge. I'm just trying to think of.
I think this is a great question to address since we're on the subject. Decent. So how do you convince a group of using Open Zeppelin to switch to the reactor? And the quote that he provided was, "I wish there was some kind of. I wish this were our kind of thing, but a tool like this doesn't really fit into our workflow." That's hilarious. The functionality we tend to add isn't in other contracts and are bespoke based on the client's task. We use Open Zeppelin templates and go from there. That's the type of customer who will probably eventually say, what the hell were we thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. But that's part
like
of
having
being
that.
And that's the type of customer that's going to get beat. And that's the type of customer that's going to lose business, because when someone goes to shop around for a dev house and they quote and say, this will take 3 to 6 months. And someone will say 3 weeks. They'll lose business and they'll say, what the hell is happening?
It's like you have these templates, right? But do you really understand it if you're just saying we only use templates? They're just picking it up. They might do some slight edits and then they push it. But I mean, as smart contracts get more complex, what are you going to do? How are you going to shop around for templates pre-existing for anything that's more complex than a swap or a dog token?
Yeah, but this is the way the world works, isn't it? So some people embrace change, others are slow to the table. So,
and that's a product life cycle. Like anything, if you look at normal product life cycles in the development or the introduction of new technology or new product, you have your early adopters, you have your late adopters, you have your mass group, and then your full adoption. We're at the very bottom of the tail end of the curve right now. And right now, what we're doing is building the foundation that supports the rest of the individuals and companies and businesses that are inside of that curve.
Yeah.
Well put. Here. Any other? Do we have any other questions popping up across the board?
Something from McLovin Fun.
Yes, McLovin. AJ, back to you and your inability to not spew out alpha. So, how's the equity round going? It was the question, and can you just say, is it going well or is it stagnating?
Equity/token round. Yeah.
Honestly, I would say it's going very well. There was a crisis last week, and we are the capital markets are extremely slow. There's no two ways about it. VC money, investment money is not moving at the speed it was in 2021. So there are a number of macro environment elements that we have to deal with. And in spite of all those things, we have been successful. And that's what I'll say. But just understand that we had a mission to raise capital. We're on the mission.
We're raising capital.
And it's not like we're at the starting block. We are on the path and we are well on the way.
Good stuff.
Don't take the bait.
Don't take the bait, AJ, but that's well answered. That's like a politician. I'll let everyone else read between the lines on that. Cool. So the interested but no money raised. You're not going to get any more than that, McLovin. We love you, but you're not going to get any more than that. You're a clever guy. I'm sure you're going to be able to work out what's going on.
Let him say it, George.
I'm not letting AJ's not going to say it. AJ won't say it. Any other questions?
All I can say is, if you read through the deck and you schedule a meeting with us, you're interested in investing, that's when we can discuss the cap table, just not in a public setting like this.
Fair.
So,
yeah.
And the exact allocations.
Yeah, and those of you who we have mentioned this to, please keep that private. We will share that information if you are a serious investor.
McLovin's getting the wrong side of me here. I cannot. Oh, yeah, he's definitely pulling at the right thread, isn't he? No more from McLovin.
Get a meeting with us.
Any more questions, guys? I mean, we've covered pretty much everything we've been dealing with recently. Yeah, yeah. Everything's going well. I would say this is the most progress we've had across all avenues: development, marketing, content, business development, everything. I would say that we are making some serious headroads from a structural place, even all the boring stuff, all of the documentation that we're working on, all of the housekeeping. This is the most organized. This is the most swept up we've been. This is the most motivated, and very much looking forward to meeting my American brethren in Paris. See how that goes. I'm going to teach you guys about history and culture, and to make sure you behave yourselves. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good fun.
Absolutely.
Do we want to say, as the last question here, any update on when the open beta may begin? You know, we have a plan for when to do that, but I do think that in light of this most recent partnership and the access to the volume of developers that are kind of at our, basically within our crosshairs, we may strategically plan the open beta when we can really get into those large communities, do some workshops, build some interest with the core customer who we really want to target. And I think between now and open beta, we will really focus on making the onboarding very, very simple and easy.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of customer support work going into supporting like all the enterprise clients, the people that we're working with on the grant side of things,
Tutorials.
people we're going to be talking with at Paris Blockchain that are going to be using the reactor in person.
So,
Yeah,
you know, strategy is not meant to be, it's not meant to be resolute. It's supposed to be adaptable when opportunities present themselves. So it doesn't change how we execute. It just changes the manner in which we execute.
Yeah.
amazing. We've got decent right here. Is anyone going to Paris? Is anyone in Paris? Have we got any French people in the community? I know Thomas is Swiss, which is like that's the ultimate like dodgy, slippery nation in Europe. They'll be a bit German, a
Maybe
bit
he can
Italian,
get us some money.
Oh, they just
Yes.
slide around everywhere. The Swiss.
Yeah. So Silverfern, to your question here, if anyone in the community is interested in attending Paris Blockchain Week, or if you're close by, we have been offered tickets at a discount for anyone in the community. Let us know, and we can secure tickets for you that are less expensive than face value.
Yeah, we'll do some sort of vlog style video, like Americans in Paris. It'll be like a chick flick type of a thing.
Americans in Paris.
Yeah, but we will. Joking aside, we'll take lots of photos, and we'll keep you guys. I will keep you guys updated. So from the unofficial, probably on my Twitter, or I'm sure AJ and TJ will post things as well. And we will obviously then keep the official account structured going forward. So, but it will be.
Behind the scenes stuff. You can follow my post. I'll post some interesting stuff. I'll do some behind the scenes. You can see who TJ's talking to.
Yes.
George napping.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So yeah, don't worry, guys. You'll be sick of it, I'm sure, by the end of it. So don't worry. TJ, what's I got you here? Do you want me to add you into this group on Telegram?
For that project, that one saying?
Yeah, the other project, yeah.
Yeah.
Or do you want to wait?
By the way, do we have a Telegram group for that list that we made it into, AJ?
I don't know. I'm not in it, so maybe you have. Maybe you can't.
I'm not in it. AJ moves so fast. Like
I know.
sometimes he'll be like, check the Telegram group, and I'm like, what Telegram group?
Yeah, it's crazy to keep up. To be fair, so yeah, we could do that. Yeah. We could do that. We could do, maybe we'll hop on and just give you a brief update from Paris, maybe a live stream on Twitter or Twitter Spaces or something like that. So yeah. Cool. If there's nothing else, guys, we hope we've updated you enough across the board for what we're up to. I hope you're enjoying all the updates from the DeFi ecosystem to the reactor, and the marketing push and all the stuff that AJ is working on as well with TJ in the background, from grants to partnerships. We're all incredibly excited at the moment. I'm sure you can probably tell that from the sort of the tone. And yeah, we'll keep slogging away. And like I said, if you sat on the toilet, you've got 5 minutes spare, just get on Twitter, like and retweet everything with Ark, tweet something amazing. Hasn't got to be true. No, I'm joking. But just any help is to magnify that sound is amazing. So yeah, thank you very much for your patience.
And if you'd like to get more info on our seed round, just reach out to AJ through Discord, Telegram, email. He really likes Telegram, so just reach out to him there, schedule a meeting, and learn more about our equity round.
Telegram is such a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Do you have folders set up? I use folders now.
I finally got folders set up so I can actually streamline a lot of these conversations. So I've becoming more efficient with Telegram. I've never had to use Telegram for a business mode of communication before. I'm an email type of person, so this is brand new. And now I have like 7 different things to monitor: Twitter, Discord, Telegram, my email, Slack.
You've been here 5 minutes. I'm 20. I just
beat the pavement, making shit happen. I can't be monitoring all these chat channels all the time.
Hey, whoever can guess George's age and get the closest, will get 1,000 ARK.
Yeah.
Time for TikTok. Oh man.
Right.
Let me do
I think we're probably. Yeah. TJ, did you join that group?
On
Telegram.
I think so. Yeah, yes, I'm in it now.
Yeah, cool. Okay, happy days. So you can see this. They're really good back and forth already. So yeah,
right.
I thought I'd get you in early on that one. Perfect. Well, if there's nothing else, guys, thank you very much. And the next time you'll hear from us, we'll be in Paris. Hoi. Good stuff. Perfect.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks very much.